And good afternoon. Welcome to the Community ReAwards page. We're really excited to have Scott with us today. Now, if you watched our live awards ceremony a couple of weeks ago, you'll remember Scott. He's done a huge amount of work for the charity Tiny Steps. And Scott is going to introduce himself in a second, but he actually won Voluntary Fundraiser of the Year, which was sponsored by the Vale Royal Abbey. So let's move over to Scott. Scott, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
So I'm a volunteer for Tiny Steps. I've been a volunteer for the last maybe 5-6 years, I think. Obviously, I've got a full-time job as well, and a young family. I work for a business called Eaton's Group, who we supply sort of nationwide business solutions. There is no thing to know.
So tell us, how did you get involved with Tiny Steps? Because I know a lot of us, volunteer for, we do lots of volunteering at Community ReAwards, all the team involved in various different things. But yours is much more of a personal reason to why you got involved with Tiny Steps.
Yeah, so my involvement with Tiny Steps is purely on the back of, so my best friend and my oldest friend, Martin, who we've been through sort of every school together. We met at age 5, and we're still sort of best friends to this day. So he set up a charity 6 years ago on the back of his own circumstances, really. And, as I said in my sort of acceptance speech, it's the sort of thing you do, you help your friends out, don't you, when they're in need. So I really just got on the back. I started helping Martin sort of 5-6 years ago by pure just doing a bit of fundraising. It was very sort of low key at the start. So, I'd do the odd run and raise, a bit of money for him, which was great. And I very quickly sort of realized that it almost, I'm sure every volunteer will say the same thing, and everyone who fundraises everything, it's almost a bit like a passion, really. So once you do one and it goes well, and you can see the benefit, it raises for your whatever you're doing it for, you almost want to do it again and do it again and do it again. So that's all that happened with me. I started off sort of quite small, and then by doing bits and pieces and organising events and things like that. And then these events went really well and sold out. So, you do another one. And then I could see sort of right at the early stages, the charity just growing really, really fast and sort of getting a really good community behind them. And it almost feels like, how could I put it? There's a massive community behind Tiny Steps, and they all seem to be wanting to do something for them, which is great, So it's just nice and really rewarding seeing it grow so nicely.
Yeah, and I think some of the stuff that we heard on the night as you were, because I was lucky enough to be able to read out the nominations for your category. So we heard about some of the stuff that you've done, but also looking at the feedback that we got after you'd won, it was really like that you'd inspired others who were with Tiny Steps to, do something for themselves, to raise some money themselves. And you're being really humble right now, because I know that, you might have started off with a little run, but you went quite big on the events, didn't you? And kind of got celebrities involved and really put not just Tiny Steps on the map, but some would say Northwich as well.
Allow me or not? That's really nice to say. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I've always been a little bit that if you don't ask, then you'll never know. And I sort of started asking sort of so-called famous people and so-called celebrities to help us out, in the hope that I think it's something what Tiny Steps is about is always going to appeal to someone, and that's been proven, really. So as I've asked these people who are in bands or famous DJs or whoever it may be, it appeals to people. It's as simple as that, because it's a good thing that they're doing, and it's going to benefit the community. So you know, I've had lots of people who don't come back to me as well, but I've also had lots of people who do. And, you know, and of the people who have come back to me, I almost feel quite blessed, really, because you know, they want to help out, and they want to do it again and again. And there's lots of people who, you know, who have helped us, and they'll continue to help us. And yeah, it's great. And you know, I just feel quite blessed that, you know, that we've come so far and I've sort of contributed to the charity, really.
No, and I think that's brilliant and lovely that, you know, you're not only inspiring other volunteers, but, you know, celebrities who probably not got as much time on the hands, although probably more now than they have had for a while, you know, are going to come and get involved. And I think that's testament to you. So, like, congratulations on getting the award. It was so lovely and such a moving speech. Like, I had to talk not long after yours, and I was like, putting myself on mute and like trying to take a water just to quell the tears, because it was a beautiful, beautiful speech. How did it feel just being recognised at the awards?
Yeah, well, it was really surreal. If I go back sort of the last 12 months to the first awards, so sorry, when I say the first award, the first awards that we were invited to. So you know, we as Sally Steps went to the first one as a table of about sort of 6 or 7 of us. And we all really didn't know much to expect. You know, we were really happy to be invited, and when you know, it was a celebration. And I can honestly say, without sounding too cheesy and it's a bit too deep, we all left feeling sort of warm inside because we were sharing a room with these people. You know, it was amazing. You know, everyone's sort of charity seemed to be sort of on the back of that situation, unfortunately. So hear stories of why the charities were formed and what people are doing, and also some of the young fundraisers. You know, some of they were almost teens. You know, some of them were kids, and I just think, wow, it's great that people have that in their heads that they want to help at that early age. So going back to this one, 2 things really. I was like massively chuffed that people had sort of recognised that I've been, you know, the work I've done, which was great. And you know, I wasn't expecting that. So that was the first thing. I was just chuffed to be in a group of 4 people. Secondly, it was probably clear that I didn't have an acceptance speech ready because I wasn't expecting to win. I was just happy just to be in one of those 4. And yeah, my emotion came out a little bit, which it does, because, you know, as Martin will say, and a lot of people will say, I'm quite an emotional guy. But yeah, so it was just lovely, you know. Like, I mean, it was just nice to sort of be recognised, and lovely to be to have won the award.
I've just got Diane Dixon saying, Scott Burstow, you have done amazing with your fundraising, and all at Tiny Steps are proud of you. Thank you. God, you're making me up, Diane. Like, please stop. We've got to get through the interview. That's lovely. Thank you for that. I think the thing is that it is, you know, yeah, you didn't have one prepared. It was lovely to be, you know, with such worthy nominees as well on the night, Scott. But I think the reason that you touched a lot of people is because you spoke from the heart. You talked about your best mate. You know, you said, I'd expect him to do the same for me. And, you know, and it felt like everyone could kind of relate to you, because they were like, yeah, if that was my best mate, I'd absolutely do that. And I think that was one of the things that the judges also felt, that, you know, this wasn't something that had, like, you know, affected you and your like immediate family, but you knew like what Martin had gone through and stuff, and his family, and you wanted to be there for him as a friend. And that was just beautiful for us. You know, apart from, you know, all the stuff that you do for the charity, it was something that really touched us in a very strong category as well. So that was, you know, that was really lovely. So you also just talked about when you were there on the evening last year awards, and you were, you know, lucky enough to be invited and stuff. And it's one of them that until you've been, you don't realize the kind of rally and that smiley feeling inside. I always think about it.
Yeah.
Just listening to everybody's stories, it really does touch you, doesn't it, when you're there?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I think the online event, for me, I was unsure whether we would create that with it being online, and actually it felt like we did.
Absolutely. It's always difficult to do something virtually. You know, I've seen that myself with the day job, that, you know, you never quite get the same sort of feeling in a virtual meeting or a virtual get together. But you know, you guys nailed it. That's, you know, it was really well organised, and it was almost weird, this, because the word seamless feels quite odd sort of when you're dealing with technology and Zoom, but it was it was really good, and like, really difficult circumstances for everyone, isn't it? You know, everyone's been hit with COVID and fundraising, etc. But like I said, the event itself was great, and much love the end. The show, it must have been a good night.
Yeah, bro. Kim Smith, the gorgeous Kim Smith, who everybody knows in Northwich, has just Scott, you're amazing. I'm very proud of you, darling. Thank you, Kim. We all love Kim. And
Thank you, Kim.
Winner, so we'll be having an interview with her as well later on. Laura Cliff has just said, Scott Burstow, you are amazing. Thank you so much for all you do for us. We are very love to Community ReAwards and for giving you the recognition you deserve. And absolutely, it is that recognition that you deserve. So I just wanted to say kind of one last question really before we finish, Scott, was, I know last year was the first time kind of Tiny Steps were involved with Community ReAwards, and that recognition of volunteers in our community, not just in Northwich, not just in Cheshire, but, you know, even in the wider area. What would you say if somebody is thinking of nominating a friend or a colleague? Like, what would you say to them, you know, do it? Having got a nomination and won an award, what would you say to those people who are thinking, should I nominate such and such body?
Yeah, well, firstly, anyone who volunteers the time to fundraise or work for a charity or anything like that, you know, they're all heroes, because they've all got full-time jobs, or they've all got their own sort of responsibilities or families or whatever it may be. So if you volunteer your time or you do anything to fundraise, then you need to be acknowledged. It's as simple as that. And there's lots and lots of people who are doing stuff, you know, every single day. You know, you see yourself on social media at the minute. You know, charities are sort of hit hard with fundraising. I honestly think, like, I say this to anyone, find something that means something to you, whether it's something that's, you know, because of a passion in your family or a satisfaction or whatever it may be, or your friend in need or anything like that, and just help them out. You know, I really do think that it almost feels like divine right to help other people, you know, and fundraise and stuff. You know, I'll always do something for mine. You know, my friends, and you do the same for me. So yeah.
Cool. And thank you for today. I know you're busy and juggling, as we are, homeschooling and work and everything else. But I know that we are lucky enough to be able to chat to you and Laura next time. So Laura from Sandra and Laura are going to have a little chat with you both, just to find a little bit more out about the charity, and also, you know, specifically about the event that you do for them. So thank you very much for your time today. Thank you to everybody who's commented, Kim, Laura, Diane, we really appreciate it. And just on behalf of the Community ReAwards team, Scott, thank you and well done. Really well deserved win there.
Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. It's lovely. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, bye.